Hey friends, so I'm kicking off our New Year's reboot. So this is for anyone who maybe you're falling behind on your New Year's resolutions, or you want to start one still, or if you're like me where it's just time for some healthy upgrades in your life. We're gonna kick it off this week. You can get all the downloads I talk about, like the cheat sheets. They're totally printable in PDF on my website at colleen-bean.com/TW, as in Transformational Wellness. So colleen-bean.com/TW. Grab the cheat sheets, and I'll also be posting links to the videos so you don't have to try to bookmark it if you want to come back and see later. And if you are looking for a teammate, let me know. Also, feel free to share with your friends, family, and enemies, anyone you think might be struggling a little and want to make some healthy changes. We're going to be talking about body, mind, and spirit, all the ways to really activate your healthy habits, and I'm going to offer up some magical tricks to help. So we're going to get started. I have a couple notes, so if you see me looking down, that's why. I want to make sure I don't miss a thing. So the first thing I do want to tell you, I do want to offer up my disclaimer, like this is not medical or legal advice. So please take this information as educational and entertainment only, and always talk to your trusted healthcare provider about any health changes you want to make, because we certainly don't want to interfere with anything else you've got going on that's working for you. So there you go. This is not medical advice. Talk to your doctor or physician of choice, okay? But we're going to start out so that I can give you some valuable information to kick you off and at least kind of get you going in a direction of research and getting some help. The first thing I want you to think about, or I invite you to think about, I guess I want you to too, is why you want to make changes. I think this is where we have a huge downfall in our goals, is if we're not really sure what's really making us want this thing, right? So no judgment here. If it's just you want to have a beach bikini hot body for summer, or if you want something very, very serious, like you have an illness you're trying to manage through better nutrition, exercise, or spiritual practices, I'm all for whatever it is. If you just want to make everyone at your reunion jealous of how healthy you are, what a good person you are, or how hot you look, I'm down with that, because I feel like we all have our motivation, and you find it and use it for all it's worth, okay? So that's kind of step one, just kind of be honest with yourself. What's really gonna keep you going on this to make you feel like keeping going on? The next thing is I want to tell you a little of my philosophy, why we're starting on the weekend. I feel like, from my experience, starting new things on Monday is just a recipe for disaster. Where if you're starting on the weekend, it seems to be a little easier, just because most people have a little easier schedule on the weekends. It's a little more flexible. You've got some extra time to implement new changes, get supplies you need or whatever you want to do. And also, you're not fighting so many old habits and environments that can keep you stuck and derail you. So on the weekend, maybe you just have a little more flexibility, basically. And I find that that's been more successful for me and my clients, and passing that on to you. That's why we're starting on a weekend. Gives you some extra time. The other thing is better, best, good. I want to share this with you. This is another one of my philosophies, that I believe in doing the best you can at whatever level that is. So you'll notice we're going to start off with just very practical, easy things to do that aren't going to cost you money, a whole lot of time or hassle or anything like that. Because if you are one of those people who like to just jump in head first in the deep end and that works for you, I'm so proud of you. That's amazing. And I hope you'll still kind of hang in here with me, because we're definitely going to go deep. But I'm also here for people who, like me, maybe need to ease into things a little bit, because turning your life upside down all of a sudden is very difficult to do. So there's what we're gonna do. So maybe the best thing in the world is to change over to have 100% organic, grow your own vegetables in your garden and things like that. But maybe you can't, right? Maybe you live in the city and it's just not feasible. And so then we're going down the scale a little from best to better or good, getting your stuff from the grocery store. I'm giving you the Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen from the Environmental Working Group as PDF downloads that they publish on their website. So I'm clear, I didn't make that up myself. That came from the EWG. So that you can, make a little better choices about the produce you buy, even to avoid some of those toxic chemicals that they put on, pesticides and even chemical fertilizers that can really wreak havoc on our health. So check those out. Those will be on my website, like I said, colleen-bean.com/TW. So first thing I want to encourage you to do for whatever your healthy change is, I'm going to talk about diet first, because you just can't exercise off a bad diet. It's been taught to me over and over again, and I really am convinced. So the first thing, number one, I suggest is to give up artificial sweeteners. They have been proven in studies to really create disease in the body. NutraSweet, which is aspartame, I believe it's aspartame is the technical term for it, has actually been shown to kill brain cells and cause brain tumors. So, that's no good, right? I don't want that. And others, cause digestive issues. They can cause cancer and all sorts of yucky stuff that you really don't want in your body. So that's my first thing. I would definitely encourage you, give up those artificial sweeteners in every way, shape, and form. And you can find my cheat sheet for it, like I said, on the website. So you can kind of see where all these things hide, because they hide under different brand names and chemical names and things like that in your food. So you can start keeping an eye out for those. The second rule, well, no, I'm not going to call it a rule. I'm going to call it an invitation. My second invitation to you is to go through your kitchen, collect all the processed foods, all those things in boxes and bags that have ingredients lists that are like a mile long, right? Like you see these jokes about CVS receipts that are like a mile long, but some of our foods are kind of like that too. So I encourage you to collect all of those and put them somewhere sequestered where it's hard to get to, and instead, put your fresh fruit and vegetables, more whole foods, your healthier snacks and things like that right at eye level or on the counter, wherever you can grab it. Fruit bowls are gorgeous and handy, right? So wash your fruits and have them out there for easy to grab snacks rather than something like a candy bar or Pop-Tarts or whatever that's really not food. You know what I mean? And then the third thing is just kind of a rule of thumb. On those packages, when you're reading the ingredients, if you don't recognize the ingredients as food made from Mother Nature, if it's more factory and chemistry type ingredients, I encourage you to not eat it. I know that can be hard. There's a lot of packaged foods that, especially in America, we like our stuff to be very convenient and easy, and having to go through that process can be a little difficult. But I still do encourage you to give that a try. So if you can't pronounce it, you don't know what it is, maybe don't eat it, and research what it is if you have time and inclination, and find out what some of those are, because they're a little bit sketchy sometimes and downright frightening very often if you actually find out what they are. Let's see, I need to grab a little sip of tea while I'm talking. By the way, if any of this sounds good to you and you're appreciating this, please give me a little thumbs up, give me a like or a little emoji or something, so I know. I want to make sure that what I'm delivering is really valuable information for you guys. So this is what I'm doing. I'm refocusing this week on giving up the artificial sweeteners and regular sweeteners. I'm also trying to give up, sugar and all their hidden forms in food. I'm definitely trying to steer away from some of these processed foods that I've picked up along the way. Definitely I've been leaning on some convenience foods a little more than I like. So I'm trying to clean up my own diet, and that's why I'm sharing this information with you guys for free on Facebook. I usually charge clients, obviously, for coaching, but I just feel like since this is something I'm doing, might as well share it and see what you guys get out of it. So if you're getting anything out of it, please share it, like it, give me some comments, and help me out in letting me know what more you'd like to see too. So last couple little things I'm going to talk about here, as I got a couple more minutes. Talking about meal planning, we're going to talk more about that next week, but just to kind of get you started this week, if you're kind of going, I really want to go deeper, I want to really get into how do I eat clean. My suggestion and the transformational nutrition process is to start with vegetables. We highly encourage vegetables, whole foods from nature, whole meats, lean meats, organic is big to try to keep that toxic load down. That's a great way to eat cleaner. My personal recipes always start with a vegetable, then I decide the spice, like maybe it's Italian, maybe it's Thai or curry or something like that, and then I pick a protein to go with it. And then if you want carbs, which aren't necessary, but sometimes you do, then the carbs, usually something kind of clean, like organic potatoes or organic rice, things like that. So that's kind of my recipe for meals: vegetables, spice, protein, then carbs. So if that helps you out, which I hope it does, and it makes cooking really easy too, because you can pretty much cook vegetables so easy. Most of them you can eat raw, so you really can't undercook vegetables. Some people say you can overcook them, but I kind of feel like if you're getting into that feeling that they're overcooked, well, maybe they're soup at that point. And soup is good, right? It's winter, we like soup. So serving sizes. I'm not going to talk too much about serving sizes. I've got a little chart that I can share. If you want it, leave a comment to help with serving sizes. But I kind of feel like if you're eating whole foods and you're not eating a bunch of processed junk food or anything, an apple is a serving size, right? A banana is a serving size. Even one zucchini, unless it's like one of those giant ones that win produce awards at the farmer's market, like a normal size cup and a half when it's chopped zucchini is one serving, right? You can eat that much and not feel like you're eating too much. So kind of go with that rule of thumb. A typical meat serving is about the size of the palm of your hand. Some people have bigger hands than others, so take that for what it's worth. If you can hold it in your hand, it's basically a serving, is the rule of thumb I go by. So if you can hold your fruit or vegetable in your hand, or your meat, or your eggs, right? So these kind of things. So I hope that helps. Same thing with carbs. A handful of rice is a serving. Handful of oatmeal is a serving size if you're looking to kind of maintain or lose weight. If you need help with cooking, I also have a 21 veg resource on my website. You can go to Colleen-Bean.com and hover over or click on the free programs link right at the top and pick the 21 Veg Challenge, and you can download there some printables that teach you quick and easy ways to cook several different kind of vegetables, what kind of nutrients come in different vegetables. So if you're looking for something specific, if you feel like you have a deficiency or that a certain kind of nutrient will help you with your health goals, I have a nice list there of different veggies and fruits that can fill those nutrient specific vitamins and minerals. If you're looking for vitamin C or B vitamins, vitamin D in the winter, a lot of people get kind of deficient on vitamin D, so you can get them from things like mushrooms. If you're not looking for supplements, there's certain mushrooms that are pretty high in it, just as an example. And then my last little tip, I realize we're all in different places, so I happen to be one of those people that cooks at home a lot, but if you're not, if you and your family eat out a lot, and some of this cooking stuff is just going right over your head, and you're like, nope, no thank you, I can't really pull that over right now. I want to mention just a couple things that I would suggest. First off, giving up those artificial sugars and sweeteners. You can do that so easy. It's just, give up the Diet Coke, give up the Snackwell cookies, any kind of packaged foods that say no sugar, sugar-free, or no sugar added. That's a real tip-off that it's got artificial sweeteners in it. So, I hate to encourage anyone to eat sugar, but if you are going that way where you just need the sweet, I would suggest things like maple syrup, honey, or dates as your sugar options, because they also come with nutrients, like actual nutrients your body can use, and that would be a healthier alternative. A second, upgrade your takeout. I'm not affiliated, so please don't don't think I'm trying to do a little commercial for them, but if you're kind of a Taco Bell kind of family, maybe try to upgrade to Chipotle, where they have much more fresh ingredients, much more natural ingredients in their food. Substitute vegetables for breads if they'll let you. If you can, instead of having French fries, get the sliced apples from the kids' meal. If you're eating at like one of those type of fast food restaurants, or in sit-down restaurants, if they're offering you bread and rice and things like that with your food, see if they'll substitute a side salad or a side of roasted or steamed or even sauteed vegetables. Be careful with the saute. That might be a whole lot of soybean oil that you don't want, but nonetheless, trying to make more positive changes rather than negative changes. If you saw my last video on the book by Tom Rath, Eat, Move, Sleep, he talks about having a net benefit, or sorry, no, that's not the word he uses. Well, in any case, it's kind of like a net gain or a net loss. With every meal, every bite you take, you have to consider, is this making me healthier or is this harming me? So something to kind of think about if you're one of the eat out a lot. Kind of try to be a little more discerning in what you're ordering and what they're serving you, whether it's a net gain for your health or a net loss for your health, and try to substitute out. The other thing is, if you're big on like sodas and sweetened drinks with cream and stuff in them at restaurants or coffee shops or whatever, try to go for things like herbal tea, lemon water, or even just regular tea, which can actually have some health benefits for you. The other thing is, I'd encourage you to try to cook a couple extra meals at home if you can. We can make them, so easy. Like, you can get cut vegetables at the store, turn them into a salad. You can turn them into a stir fry, really easy at home, kind of one pan meals. Things like eggs are really easy, super fast to cook. So you can do, frittatas on the stove. You don't even have to bake them, just some vegetables and scrambled eggs. Smoothies, I wouldn't go for necessarily packaged smoothies, but if you have maybe some frozen fruit and a favorite juice or something to put in there that's a little bit high in sugar maybe, but instead of doing a donut for breakfast, I would definitely say a fruit smoothie would be better. So try to experiment with some things at home and let me know how that goes, because I'm always looking for quick meals at home. So if you find anything really genius, let me know. I'd love to hear about that. And then I've got kind of track B for people more like me who are already kind of cooking at home. I don't really have many more things. One thing I would want to highlight for if you do cook at home quite a bit and you're already kind of on that track, just like the same three things, giving up the disease-causing, toxic, artificial sweeteners, and really being cautious, or no, not cautious, cognizant. Be aware of, the junk foods that's kind of sneaking into your diet, or the packaged, overly processed things that maybe you want to try to kind of weed out a little bit. And going more for more organics and more things like pastured eggs, right? Like free-range chickens that are out there eating their bugs and natural kind of food for them that has been shown to have, when they lay their eggs, that those eggs have higher levels of nutrients in them, that they're actually more nutritious. And of course, like if you're a meat eater, grass-fed, pastured animals tend to have more nutritious meat as well. In fact, one example is grass-fed beef. Pastured beef actually have vitamin K in their meat, where conventional beef, in the feedlots that are being fed like corn and soy, and they're not getting grass, which is their natural food. So they're getting fed unnatural food for them. they don't have the vitamin K in their meat, so you're kind of missing out on an essential nutrient there. So try to make those kind of switches, and if you have any tips on those, I love to hear new research about nutrition. So I'm going to wrap this up. One more time, just going to say, head over to my website, colleen-bean.com/TW, as in Transformational Wellness, and grab those freebies. Share it with your friends, family, and enemies. Give me thumbs up, give me comments. I love to see those, even if you're watching the replay. Absolutely, if you're watching the replay, I still want to know what's really kind of interesting to you and what kind of things you want to hear more about. What kind of things I'm saying, you're appreciating. I like to be appreciated, don't you? So if anything I'm saying really helps you out, I want to know. And that's it. I will be back next Friday with week 2 of this kickoff. So tomorrow, I hope that you'll go through your cupboards and sequester those toxic, over-processed foods and find beautiful homes on your counter and front and center in your fridge for your fresh fruits and vegetables and pastured meat and organic pasture free-range chicken eggs, or whatever healthy food that you're able to kind of upgrade to. And I would love to see pictures. Ooh, yes, come to my Facebook page and post your pictures or videos or whatever. I'd love to see what you're doing. I'm going to be doing the same, posting pictures of my progress, and maybe I'll try to do kind of a before and after, because I can kind of show you I've kind of gone downhill with my a little too much gelatin and canned meat instead of salads and things like that. So I'm going to be working on that with ya, and that's what I have for you today. Coming up, we're going to be talking in the next few weeks more about habit hacks, because obviously once this stuff, you want to get it to be a habit, right? So that you're not always having to fight the old habits. So these new healthy habits. So we'll talk about super simple and effective things you can do. And we'll be talking more about cooking, nutrition, exercise. We're going to talk a little bit about moving in ways that are really fun and not torture, so that you can find habits that are really good for you and you want to do. We'll also talk about some psychological / spiritual things, mindset type things, and that can also really boost your effectiveness when you're trying to make changes. So you can be like, yay, this is going super, super easy. Hey, babe, thanks for that. So let's see, I'm going to wrap it up. Any questions, any comments? Love to hear them. Shoot them down there to me, and I will see you again next Friday, okay? Bye. Have a great night. Mwah.